Okay.
Oh, we doing music today. We need some music.
Do you want me to pause recording?
No, they can have the music on the recording.
Okay.
Rob's trying to log in.
Don't let him in. Don't let him in. He's supposed to be taking care of.
I just feel sorry for I feel sorry that they sat in that ER, because when we went last week, we went by ambulance, and I was scared still.
Yeah, well, Noah went by ambulance too.
I'm sorry.
I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to be in the waiting room, you know, because all those kids sitting around probably have COVID.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
All right, let us know when you want them in.
Wow, that is stronger.
And Avery, an engineering major who runs on ambition and coffee. Grammarly can get her dream job.
My application needs to stand out.
Let 'em
They
in.
only meet with the top candidates.
If you want to make a good impression and nail your delivery, use Grammarly. You don't want to pull another all-nighter, do you?
There's the music.
Now that's taking it to
Oh,
the
that's
end zone.
Grammarly.
Yeah. Oh, touchdown with Grammarly. And Blake, an education major who knows what he wants. So you're going to be a school teacher.
Yep, but first I need to get my senior thesis over the finish line.
Uh-oh.
I keep repeating the same words.
Let Grammarly help you find the right words
Sorry,
faster.
guys. We're trying to get it off of Grammarly.
Grammarly, do your magic. And you did it in one place. Grammarly means better results. That's why it's the writing tool select.
Sorry, we were trying to get you some music, but it wasn't happening.
We got a good plug for Grammarly, though.
Yeah, we did. We did. How's everyone tonight? Good. That's not what I want. I'm gonna go here. See what happens here. I'm gonna escape here. I can't get this from stop sharing. There it is. All right. Well, great evening. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Do we have Keisha on the line?
Yes, ma'am, she's here.
All right.
I'm here. Sorry, I was on mute.
That's okay, babe. I'm finna give you co-hosting privileges. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our January SSD Parent Advisory Council, and people are still coming in. Excellent. Okay, it's not changing. No, that's not what we want. Not the city of St. Charles. Well, y'all know I was at work. It's stop this share. Stop share. Okay. We're going to go ahead with the welcome. Welcome, everyone. We thank you for being here tonight. We can either have a long meeting or a very short meeting. We don't have much on the agenda as of tonight. Not Regina. Christina, can you please share your screen?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, you should see the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. So we are calling it to order at this time. And now we're going to establish quorum by having a roll call. We're now in the hands of Christina Blankenship.
Okay. right. Angela Hanks. Rachel Odman. Anastasia Swan Vargas. Molly Murphy Sudin. Christina Blankenship here. Denise Bursey. Julie Collins Henderson. Latoya Nelson. Cassandra Brown. Natasha Anderson Wright. Mary Fitzgerald. Is anybody hearing me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Angela is in the waiting room. I'm gonna let her in.
All good here.
Angela Hanks is in the waiting room. Oh, and
Yes.
so is Latoya. I just saw it flash on the screen. Angela Hanks. Is Angela Hanks here?
She's still connecting to audio.
Okay. Latoya Nelson.
Here.
Okay.
Angela should be in now.
Angela Hanks.
Here.
Thank you. Ellen Reed.
Here.
Rebby Goebel. Janelle Blackwood. Bridget Wildschutz.
Present.
Kim Gifford.
Here.
Thank you.
Cassandra
Mary-
Brown. Cassandra
Oh.
Brown has entered the room.
Cassandra Brown. Cassandra Brown. You're on mute, Dr. Carter.
I see
She's-
Ellen as well.
Mary Mackler. Megan Fenlon. Jennifer Ibera. Fern Scott. Cassandra Brown. Is she connected back again?
I saw her unmute for a second, so I don't know if she's having some technical difficulties.
Okay. Melissa Upchurch.
Here.
Shauna Barton.
Present.
Thank you. Kamisha Carter.
Present.
Carrie Ellis. Rob Eaton.
Here.
Ashley Harrison Lawson.
Here.
Thank you. Veronica Leach.
She stated that she was present, but she has no audio.
Okay. Cassandra Brown.
Here.
Wonderful. Thank you. Denise Francis. Shanna Rudolph. Gail Jones.
Here. Shanna
Oh.
Rudolph here.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Okay, and then Gail Jones. Okay, did anybody else pop up, guys? While I was doing roll call?
I thought I saw Ashley Lawson.
Yeah, she
Oh.
said, she affirmed that she was here. She said
Okay.
that she was here. So.
Okay. Mary Fitzgerald from Kirkwood is here.
Okay, Mary Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have quorum, Madam President.
Gracias, mi amiga. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and being with us today. Please also sign the attendance link so we can have the proper attendance of who is who in our group, as well as knowing, matching our attendance with our roll call. Thank you. At this time, we're gonna have the approval of the agenda. As you see, the agenda is already printed on your screen. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
This is Ellen, motion to approve.
May I have a second?
This is Kim, my second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Only heard one eye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carried. Now we need to get the minutes on the screen, please, ma'am. You should have gotten the minutes and the corrected minutes today. The minutes dated for yesterday and the corrected minutes for today. You should have had an opportunity to read through them. We're only gonna just scroll them on the screen for a few seconds, and then we're gonna make a motion, okay?
Okay, you see the minutes now?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay, wonderful. You want me to just scroll down?
Just scroll.
Okay.
Everybody should have had this in their minutes in the reminder that was sent out on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion, please.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted with the corrections as noted, corrections in the way of formatting that I noted in the follow-up email to all members this evening.
This is Ellen, I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any abstentions or opposed? Any abstentions or nays? Well, then the motion carries and the minutes are approved.
Thank you. All right. Next on our agenda, we have the president's report, not the president's report, the superintendent's report. And I did see Dr. Keenan online. Dr. Keenan, let me give you sharing capabilities.
Could you give that to me? Because I have the PowerPoint.
Okay, I gave you co-host.
And I'll
How did it
stop
move?
sharing.
No, you don't have it. What happened? I gave it to you once upon a time. There you go. There you go.
Well, now I can't find it now that you put me.
You want me to find it on my screen?
Nope, I've got it. It's
You got
just
it?
coming up. Yep.
Excellent.
Can you see it?
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
How about now?
Nope,
No, ma'am.
Well, it's on my screen.
that's good.
You might have to stop share and then reshare. Well, at least you didn't have your work stuff up on there.
So it would be bad if I shared that I'm going to fire all my employees.
Oh, no, no.
I'm just kidding.
Girl, that's confidentiality.
I don't have any employees to fire. That's the problem.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
You know what? Hold on a second. My computer just now is not doing anything I ask it to do. I'm going to stop sharing and go back in.
Okay, let me go find it.
Wendy, can you fire your computer?
Yes, I would like that sometimes. I am up for a new one though.
I've asked her to get a new one for the last 3 years and she hasn't done it.
She is absolutely correct. All right, here we go.
And mine came up at the same time. You good? You got it?
Now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. All that work. Ta-da!
That's me.
So that's legislative. So
Yeah, I'll give my update. So we are back from break, and as all of you know, all of the districts are dealing with how to make sure we're supporting a safe return to school. Many of our students and our staff are testing positive for COVID, and so there's precautionary pieces of that. We did announce this morning that the SSD, which is directly over the SSD schools, did modify our policy, our COVID leave policy, to adhere to the current CDC guidelines. What this means is that we're still continuing to support our staff, that if they have to quarantine, we want them to stay home and isolate and make sure they can do that. Our policy was 10 days, so we did drop it down to 5 days to make sure our staff can do that if they're able to come back after 5 days. If they're still symptomatic, we make sure that they stay home until they are not symptomatic anymore. We are continuing as a superintendent group. We meet every Wednesday. We talk about how we're supporting to keep the schools open. I know that some of the districts that did decide to go to a mask optional, they were going to start to do that at the after Martin Luther King Day, but they are switching that out given the circumstances over the last 2 weeks. We are continuing to work on making sure our schools are safe by making sure that masks are being worn in our SSD schools. We know that our students with disabilities have difficulties sometimes keeping their mask on, so we have other precautions for our staff. The additional PPE, we have plexiglass, we have gowns, we have lots of disinfectants. So we want to make sure that we can get through this wave. We haven't heard of anything else on the next variant, so that is a good sign that the health department has said that hopefully over the next week, a week and a half, things will get better. But I cannot say enough for our staff who will continue to show up every day, supporting our students. They have been the frontline workers. And I think that if you have the opportunity to make sure you thank your teachers and support them, because it's very difficult. A lot of them, when they are at home, if they are testing positive, they're still working remotely. We do have our paras or our other teachers supporting the students in the classroom. So we want to make sure we're staying as consistent as possible for our students that do show up. We've had our students who are also have been testing positive. So make sure that as families, watch your students, make sure they're not symptomatic before you send them. Because we want to just make sure everybody's safe. And we'll continue to work through this next, week and a half. Hopefully it'll get better after that. And we're going to keep being diligent. And the one thing that we did hear loud and clear from the health department or the health experts is that the best place is to keep our schools open. So a lot of people have said rumors are we're going to be shutting down schools. We're really committed to making sure that we will work through this. We'll keep people safe. And in fact, as you can see, prior to winter break, we were doing pretty good. And then once everybody got together over winter break, and then came back. That's when we started to get the increase in the cases. So that's my COVID-19 update for all of us. And I just want to thank all of you. Additionally, families, thank you for supporting and being very patient through this process. Our commitment, it really is to make sure that everybody is safe so that we can continue to keep our schools open.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dr. Keenan, for giving us such a great update, because we are concerned.
Yes.
Just for a legislative update, there are 75 pages of House bill and Senate bills that are all in regards to education. So it is going to be busy, busy, busy in Jeff City as they talk about approximately 213 different House and Senate bills. One of the House bills that I wanted to bring to your attention is the Parents' Bill of Rights. And just so you understand, or a brief overview of the Parents' Bill of Rights, is it really, as special education parents, we're kind of a lot further ahead on involving parents with the Bill of Rights. And if you see, there's multiple House bills that I had put up at the top. And there is actually one Senate bill that is really focusing on parents' rights to look at a curriculum, approve curriculum, be involved in policymaking, allow parents' involvement in the public school system, have their voice on what materials are chosen and put in front of their students. Comprehensive health education. I know in the past, health education has been a very hot topic around the state. And there is a lot of focus on parents' rights and the school boards, which from what I understand is coming out of a particular school district in Columbia. So I wanted to keep you up to date on pertinent bill information as they go through. Like I said, there's a lot of them that are coming up, but this seems to be the top one that is being argued and presented this week. For moving forward, since we will have our public review committee on this evening, in February, we're going to update on extended school year, which is ESY. It's that time of year again to start talking about summer programming. The holidays are through, so districts are going to start planning. Other topics that we have talked about is when to do an amendment, when to ask for an amendment, when to do an IEP, the differences between formative assessments, and then also really that goal evaluation piece. So those are all topics that we will look at presenting this semester. Questions? Thank you, Dr. Carter.
Thank you, Chief Pendergrass, for giving us that overview. And we really need to keep our eye out on that parents' rights bill, because it's layered in other things. Before we move forward, in the chat, Christina, did you get that opposition to the minutes from Rockwood? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yes, I have it and I have recorded it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, without any further ado, I am biased to this person that we're about to present because she is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, as well as the vice president of the governing council, as well as the board member for Ladue Schools. She is a phenomenal person. She is a single mother with a child with needs. And I just think she is just I-Ching, for a lack of a better term. And she is also the co-leader of the PRC. And that is the person and none other than Keisha Lee. Keisha Lee, you have the floor.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I feel so important. Feel like I should be getting an award. But good evening, everybody. As a former member of the PAC, I just like to say thank you all for being here. It's good to see the attendance. And I am one of the co-chairs for this 2022 Public Review Committee. My partner, Larry Felton, had a board meeting this evening, so he will not be present, but I will walk you through what we have done and accomplished thus far. So just to introduce you to what the Public Review Committee process is, this is, it is mandated by state statute, section 162.858 of the revised Missouri statute state that this is the 7th Public Review Committee for the Special School District of St. Louis County that will be held initiated in 2021. The final report will be 2022. Every 4 years, the Public Review Committee convenes, and we are required to have these 3 entities have appointees on the board. That is the Parent Advisory Council for Special School District, the Governing Council, as well as the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, better known as DESE. The statute, it sets forth mandates to give us the duties, to give the duties to the PRC, and we are to conduct a thorough review of the structure, governance, administration, financial management, delivery of services, cooperation with component school districts, which is better known as partner districts, as well as the district's role as an advocate for special needs and severely special needs children. It also includes compliance with sections 162.850 and 859 regarding conflicts and responses to the needs and concerns of citizens of the special school district. The purpose and goals of the Public Review Committee are to determine whether SSD is fulfilling its mandate with the 8 articulated, sorry, the thing is over my thing, to the 8 articulated areas, as well as a separate career and technical education mandate. So when the PRC for the last, I wanna say, couple of cycles has included career and technical education as a 9th item, just because of the unique nature and importance of the mandate in St. Louis County for career and technical education. So based on those assumptions, the 2022 PRC will focus our review and investigations on the following goals: to meet the legal responsibilities as set by the legislation, to review, evaluate, and comment on the operation of SSD and its relationship with partner districts, to provide external review with the aim of assisting SSD to improve its processes and services, to provide specific recommendations reflecting our understanding of the reports, studies, and interviews that have been provided to us, as well as the current environment in which SSD operates. We'll also provide updates on the 2018 recommendations, of which 2 of the current PRC members were also part of that PRC. We will also communicate our observations and recommendations to the Governing Council and the SSD Board of Education. And finally, we will publish our final report for all interested parties to add to the historical record concerning SSD performance and progress on its improvements. And if you are interested, the 2018 report is posted on the website. So the current committee members that have been appointed to this PRC, the DESE appointees are Dr. Jenny Bender, Dr. Andrew Stewart, and Dr. Marianne Tegens. The Governing Council appointees are myself, Ms. Keisha Lee. I represent the School District of Ladue, Mr. Larry Felton, who represents Melville, and Dr. Sheila Powell Walker, who represents Ferguson Florissant. We also have the Parent Advisory Council appointees. We have Dr. Kamisha Carter, Mr. Rob Eden, and Ms. Erica Williams. So just to bring you up to where we are today on our progress, we started meeting back in September. So we had 3 meetings that were virtual on September 20th, October 4th, and October 20th. It was during those meetings when we set our planning agenda. We laid out what would establish a quorum for the group. And I think that that's important because for us, since we are 3 separate appointees, a quorum has to include 1 of each member of the group. And to date, we've only had to cancel 1 meeting because we did not have such quorum. We also set our scheduling, aligned the presentations and speakers, and any documents at that time that we wanted to see. Our first in-person meeting, which was switched to in-person so that we could gain a little bit more momentum with the presentations, was on the Continuous School Improvement Plan and the CSIP presentation. That was by Dr. Molly Bolton, the Executive Director of Teaching, Learning, and Accountability. We also had a presentation by Shakita Mack-Riddle, the Executive Director of Partner Districts, on the SSD Partnership Agreement. On November 29th, we also had presentations from Dr. Michael Macklin, the Director of Equity, on the Equity Framework. And we also had by Mr. Kevin Ander, the Executive Director of Career and Technical Education, on career technical education and adult education. On November 30th and on December 9th, the group split into two, and we all took tours of the SSD schools that are located in North County. We toured North Technical High School, Northview High School, and Ackerman. On December 7th, we had additional presentations on employee engagement, by Jennifer Henry, the Executive Director of Communications, as well as the Human Resources presentation by Dan Kelly, the Human Resource Director. On January the 3rd, we had a presentation on compliance by Ms. Susan Henry, the Director of Compliance. And we also had a presentation by Ms. Latricia Morgan, who I saw tonight, the Student Services Coordinator, on the Parent Education and Diversity Awareness, better known as PETA. Tonight, I am here on behalf of the PRC to present to the SSD Parent Advisory Council our progress to date. Our upcoming meetings will include January 31st, where we will hear on the impact of the pandemic and have a budget presentation. On February 8th, we will make a presentation to the SSD Board of Education. On February 25th, we will attend the Regional Superintendent's meeting. And then on March the 7th, we will also make a presentation to the SSD Governing Council. Any questions?
We have one in the chat. Bridget, did you get that? There was a hearing on Tuesday with the Missouri House Education Committee about the bill regarding parents' rights. A record number of Missouri residents submitted testimony, including me. The session wasn't recorded. Okay, that was a statement. Okay, that was from, I can't even see who that was from. Oh, Miss Fitzgerald, Mayor Fitzgerald. Okay. Any questions for the PRC?
I have a question. This is Shauna Barton with Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
So are you just referencing the PRC members when you say we throughout your statements and the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions? Well, Keisha, you did a smash up job because you don't. Who are the chairs? We have a question. Who are the chairs of the PRC?
The chairs of the PRC, there's two co-chairs, myself and Larry Felton. And we both from the Governing Council.
Well,
and then I also want to say before I end that Chief Pendergrass and Rita Bowen have been present at each of our meetings as well to represent the administration from Special School District.
We do have one more question from Mary Fitzgerald. How can new contribute to the process have input? How can we contribute to the process, have input?
All of our meetings are open meetings. They're posted. If anyone, I don't know how. Wendy, do you know, are those posted publicly or where they're posted?
So yes, they are. We follow the procedures. Rita posts them in the certain time frame that have to be up. I don't know with the link if we'll have the Zoom link available as well now that we've gone back Zoom.
Yes.
But those were here. I'm sorry. So they were posted because the meeting was here.
Yes, and in terms of contribute from SSD PAC members, I think you should I would suggest you can come to a meeting, but you also have 3 representatives from the PAC on the PRC. So I would suggest that if you have things that you want to contribute, that you contribute them from them, and then they can raise those to the whole group.
I agree. You can contact myself, you can contact Rob, or you can contact Erica. So there's another question. So there's no separate meeting for the SSD PAC as in prior years.
This is that meeting. So in the prior years, is that Veronica?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I mean, in the prior years, Veronica, just like when we, in 2018, she was part, I'm sorry, for those of you who don't know, she was part of the PRC in 2018. We did meet and present to all of the same groups that we are presenting to now. So the PRs, we are presenting to the PAC, the Governing Council, and the Board of Education.
Last time you had an opportunity for us to talk to the PRC group. This is your opportunity. Go ahead and state what you need to state. That's why we gave this particular section an hour.
So we have 4 questions coming up. Shauna asks, where are they posted? I'm assuming she's referring to the past meetings.
So the meetings,
it's been mentioned it's posted, and even this meeting. But I really don't see, besides getting a direct specific email, I don't see any of this stuff being posted or being sent to all. So I'm just feeling like some of these meetings are not being advertised to promote more input.
so on all of our, they will always be posted on our SSD website, on our main page. If we are connected to the PAC, and the PAC should be connected to ours, meaning our websites. Our website should be interchangeable.
As it is. So Shauna, this is my question to you. Let me see if I can help you out. Are you wanting to come to the meetings, or are you wanting to have input into the meetings? Because are there public comments at this meeting? Do we have public comments?
We do, but to date, we have not had any person to present. So we have not had any person to make a comment.
Okay, so there is an online link, right? Or am I getting it confused with Governor Council?
There should be a link. I mean, once we're going back to virtual for our next meeting, there will be a Zoom link. But prior to that, in person, all public meetings have to be posted. So the posting, that's why I'm asking, I defer to special school district. I don't know where it's posted, but I would assume on the website, because they are public meetings. And we always acknowledge at our meetings if we have anyone who has any visitors or anyone who wants to make a comment. And to date, as I stated, there have been none.
Okay.
So Rita posts them 48 hours, which is within the guidance and the law of posting open meetings. We posted it visually right in front of our central office, but we also post it on our website, and it usually scrolls across the front of the page. And we also put it out on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, thank you, because I was wondering if, most is social media, but I don't always come across it. And even when I look at Facebook, but just hoping that I wish more parents would get out there and get the word.
Okay, well, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
So when's that posted? Is the Zoom link with it, Wendy? Because I think being aware of the meeting is one thing, but having the Zoom link to actually get there is another. So is the Zoom link being posted publicly?
So I will make sure that when we post the 48 hours prior to that, when the posting also has the Zoom link on our front page, just like our PAC meeting is on there right now. Today, I'm looking there on the calendar. It shows our PAC meetings, and I'll make sure that there is a link. If there is not, you can email me directly and I'll make sure that you get it and we fix it immediately.
So here's the thing. This is not a PAC thing. This is a public review committee thing.
This is a Missouri state statute thing.
This is a Missouri state statute thing. So you will have to go to the SSD website to get the information that you are looking for. We cannot take on responsibility to send that out to the PAC. Does that make sense? So I hear nothing. So evidently it makes sense. Okay, so go to we have it from the superintendent and we have it from the chief of staff stating that it is currently on the website. So if you want to know about the meetings, we will also put this presentation in our minutes. So you'll have those dates to go to the meetings. Okay, so do you want us to have our input now? Well, I have a lot of issues with IEP compliance. Is that the same?
I think that's the next one.
Okay.
Because Shauna's question, where are they posted, we addressed, and then Mary's is the next one.
So yes, Mary, are we talking about that at this time, Keisha? Would you like to talk about IEP? The question is, well, she didn't state, Ms. Fitzgerald, Mary didn't state. She said, well, I have a lot of issues with IEP compliance.
I mean, I don't think that that's something that I can address at this point. I will take it back to the PRC as a concern for something to us to look into. But again, I would suggest I don't know what IEP compliance could be, any number of things. If you have a specific concern, I think it's lifted to whoever the reps are for the PAC and or come to the next PRC meeting and state your concerns at the meeting so that the entire body of the PRC, all appointees can hear your concerns, and then we can make sure that we review them and address them in our recommendations.
And something I'd like to suggest, this is Christina. And first, thanks Keisha for being here tonight, and bless you for co-chairing with Larry, because I was on the last PRC. I co-chaired with Larry, been there, done that. So thank you so much. I will say that this probably, for those of you that were part of this process last go around, this all feels a lot different because we're having to do PRC meetings virtually. We're used to being in person, touch paper, writing things up on boards, breaking into groups, doing a lot of those things in person, which is difficult to do. Plus, you've got a lot of new people to the PRC this year. And then also your engagement with your stakeholders has unfortunately had to be very virtual. So, I mean, I think parents can ask questions now, but what I found really helpful on the PRC previously, yes, we had 2 sessions where we gave people 3 minutes to talk, and that was really great. But what also was really great is people that followed up with emails to the PRC, which you can send those to Rita. Rita is the secretary for the PRC. You can send that information, and that way it gets disseminated to all the PRC members. This is directly from the family with the concern. It's not filtered, in any way, shape, or form, or edited. And again, Wendy is going to make sure, again, this is the first time we've done this virtually. So Wendy's going to, be making sure you have the Zoom information. If you don't see it, contact her. Wendy will be on it, or you can contact probably Rita for that Zoom information. So those are different ways. So you can raise some issues now. Dr. Carter has given us an hour tonight. You can show up to a meeting and during public comment, speak. You can also, send an email to, Rita, to also forward to the PRC. She's the secretary for the PRC. And then you can also reach out to Rob, Erica, and Dr. Carter, if you choose to go that route. So there's a various different ways that you can participate and ensure yours and the voices of other families are heard. And I will say PRC wants to know, definitely what families feel isn't going right, but it's also very helpful as the PRC is shaping recommendations and engaging with other stakeholder groups or departments within SSD to know what's working. Because if something's working, maybe in this district, then we want to look at best practices and get that dialogue going. Because having been on the PRC, I have actually seen that recommendations actually turn into actions. So that's really important. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you very much.
Wendy, can we get Rita's email address to be put in the chat, please, and thank you.
Yes, Dr. Keenan put the site in there that is right to our PRC website.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you. All right, so we have another statement in here. And Bridget, let me know if this is the next statement. Prior to me being on the PRC came to SSD PAC with prior knowledge to present. Being is that, and I can answer that, being is that Rob, myself, and Erica have been on the PRC, we have been presenting information to the PRC. So I'm not quite sure where that statement was going. And we ask questions for our constituents. So, and that's all families included. The next one says, I think Veronica is, go ahead, Rob, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and on top of that, on every PAC meeting, I have given in my vice president report, I have given an update of what's been going on in the PRC. So if people have concerns, please, by all means, reach out to me directly. You've all got my phone number, or you've seen, reach out to me during the vice president's report, and I'm happy to address and talk about issues then too.
Thank you, Rob. Yes, you give them. Yes, you do. I think Veronica is asking when the PAC data was collected for the PRC. I second that. There's no motion on the floor for a second. That is collected every month. Correct, Rob? We provide information from the PAC and our constituents, especially the equity piece Dr. Macklin did. And we actually are in there engaging. Rob, myself, and Erica are engaging on every meeting. And I don't know specifically what it is what type of data you're looking at. Are we talking numbers? Those numbers are always presented by Chief Pendergrass. She presents information through the different PowerPoints that we have already previously have stated in earlier presentations. So I don't know what particular data you're looking for. Please email myself, Rob, or Erica if you have any specific data that you want to go straight to the PRC. There was I agree with Shauna. I have never heard of it either. Well, it's new. Well, it's not new. It happens every 4 years. I believe that's why Keisha or Ms. Lee gave that all that information as to state what it is. And I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm not gonna say that it was a debacle last time from members of the PAC. Family voices should be able to be voiced directly without someone speaking for the family. Please send your request to myself or Rob or Erica or Rita. I agree with Veronica. Stakeholders, families should have a major input in the data of the PRC recommendations. If Governing Council and PAC are mandated under the Senate bill, I believe they're also required to post it. That's already been commented on by the superintendent, the chief of staff, and by Keisha.
Can I
And
make
it
a
says, oh, go
Dr.
ahead.
Carter,
Dr.
can I make a comment? The reason it's structured the way it is to have, they have the governing council, they have the DESI people, and they have 3 members from the SSD PAC. That's why you have those 3 members. So these are structured information. So there is order to them. So that's why it's so important for you to be able to reach out to your representatives, because they're the ones that are your voice at the table around this. So just to understand that that's what Keisha is, that's why she's here. That's why Dr. Carter's here. That's why, Mr. Eaton is they're representing you on that committee. There's 3 members, there's 9 members total, and 1/3 of it is parents. So that's why it's so important for you to give them the information and to be able to see how they can utilize it into recommendations or pieces on how we can better support our families.
Thank you, Dr. Keenan. Okay, this will be a Chief Pendergrass question. Can SSD directors publish this to all 22 partner districts?
I'll see if I can get that to happen. I am unsure. They send their letters out the first of the month. We have different PRC dates. So I'll see if we can't get, it will not have the links available, but the dates could definitely be available. We could do an update. I'll work with Mac Riddle. So Miss Mac Riddle, so we can share that.
Okay. Not everyone participates in social media. It's also on the SSD PAC website. Yes, my compliance issues and laws being broken, which needs to be addressed by all students and parents. Please, by all means, if you're having any kind of issues, please contact me because I talk to Chief Pendergrass directly and we can have a session on compliance issues. That's what we had in November. We talked about service minutes and compliance, and that's what's coming up in February, as we discussed, as Chief Pendergrass discussed earlier. Rob, you wanted to say something?
No, you're fine.
Okay. All right. And keep in mind, the local PACs get the information and take it to the families that they serve. This is why we are here. We're here to serve you so you can serve your local PAC. It is a statute. I missed it. Let's see. It is a statute, but bodies are mandated to participate in the PRC. Therefore, I believe those bodies are required to notice up the meetings. I think, and I'm assuming that you're talking about.
We are publicly posting those on the website. We are following all the rules and the laws.
I stepped into the other room. I used to be the sunshine request coordinator for several governmental agencies, including the Attorney General's office. And I have notified this body on several occasions out of goodwill that we are violating sunshine law. What we're speaking to specifically tonight in this space is the PRC. And when you have other bodies mandated by state statute in that PRC, those bodies also have to notice up the meetings. That is where Shauna's concern was coming in. And I believe Veronica's, when they're saying this is in a limited format because it's only through SSD and it's on Facebook, Twitter, and in your building. But whenever there are other bodies that are a part of a sunshine law meeting, they also have to notice up the meetings. So that would mean governing council and PAC. It could even mean DESI. And like I said, I have been out of goodwill trying to help this new transition prevent breaking sunshine law, and we're breaking it in very basic ways.
We will, actually, we are following the sunshine rules with open meeting laws. So this is under the special school district. This is where we post it. Our responsibility is to make sure that they have
And I'm telling you, it's
representation.
not, because I have a copy
We're
of the
not gonna
letter
de-
from
we're
the
not gonna-
Attorney
we're
General's
not going to
office that
debate
is
this.
sending you all a violation.
We're not going to
of
debate this at
sunshine
this
law.
moment.
It's not
We're
a
not going to
debate.
debate
I'm
this.
trying to help. It is not a debate, ma'am.
At this
Let's give the
juncture,
space
help.
to the
this
people
is
who
not
want to
the
talk
space.
about this.
I
We will talk
agree.
about that later.
I agree.
So Shauna and Veronica bringing up sunshine law and me chiming in, trying to say, hey guys, we all have to notice it up, is not an appropriate topic when
That's
we're
not what she
asking
was
about the
saying. What she
PRC.
was saying is that the debate back and forth, we are not tolerating that in this space. If you
It's
would like
not
to,
a
if you
debate.
would like to have a conversation on sunshine law outside of this venue at this time, then Dr. Keenan, myself, would gladly offer you a along with the Amy Boyd would
And-
gladly
and I
allow
would like it,
would gladly
ma'am.
give you space outside
Ma'am.
in an offline conversation.
Ma'am,
we're
I
not
have
gonna do
emailed,
here-
no, ma'am. I have emailed you and Dr. Keenan and the superintendent's office and the executive committee specifically regarding sunshine law. And I was told by Dr. Keenan directly, there would be no such meeting. So I understand what you're saying here in this public meeting, but those emails are well documented where you're refusing to meet with me on sunshine law. And I am
Ashley.
not instigating this conversation from Veronica or Shauna. They instigated that on their own. And I am chiming in because you all have stonewalled me in communication. So I am trying to help bridge the concerns, because I understand that Dr. Keenan's office is not violating sunshine law, but the PAC and the General Governing Council are two separate bodies, and the PAC is violating sunshine law. Even with this PRC, we have to notice up the meetings.
Okay, since we're bringing up sunshine law, and I was holding that until we have a word from the attorney general. And I apologize, Keisha, for this hijacking your
It's
meeting.
okay.
Over the Christmas holiday, we were given information that Ms. Lawson sent up 7 complaints to the Missouri Attorney General, stating that the PAC, SSD PAC, was not in compliance with the sunshine law. Over the Christmas holiday, your SSD PAC executive committee sent in the information by December the 4th on 7 complaints containing 86 documents and a 43-page answer to Ms. Lawson's 7 complaints. At that time, my personal lawyer stated that we were in compliance and we have not violated any sunshine laws. We are waiting for word from the Attorney General as to our answer. At this time, we are in compliance with our sunshine laws.
Well, that's
Thank you.
again,
No,
that's
we
a
are not furthering
technicality.
this
No, ma'am,
conversation.
that's a
We are
technicality.
not furthering this conversation. We are not furthering this conversation. Ms. Lawson, if you continue to speak, I will have to gladly remove you from this meeting. The Melissa Earp Church, the presentation was good. I just didn't really understand what it was before. Let me see. Bridget, I can't pull it down. What's the next one? This is not an SSD issue either, but it's a mandated issue. Does not make sense. It feels as though you are limiting advertising from parents' involvement.
Why not?
PRC is to oversee SSD and make sure that we are in compliance with the law.
Yeah, and just to make sure, we're following the same rules that we do with when we post our board meetings and when we both post our governing council meetings.
SSD is in compliance. Yes, ma'am. SSD is in compliance. The issue is with the
moving forward. We have the link for the sunshots for the SSD. Is Rita the secretary for the PRC? Yes, she is. Rob answered that. Then reach out to Rita. Could you give us an example of or successes to stories from the PRC topic? Sorry, just trying to understand what PRC does opposed to the other groups. Keisha, that's a you question.
Sure. I can go back and find the PowerPoint presentation. Dr. Keenan gave an update to the 2018 PRC to the Governing Council on all of the recommendations that were made and the actions that have been taken to date. I want to say that was beginning of the 2021 school year, if I'm not mistaken. So what I can do is make sure either if Dr. Pendergrass, if you want to get that to Dr. Carter, and if she can email that out to the PAC. Again, the current 2018 recommendations are posted on the website. If you follow that link that Dr. Keenan put into the chat, all of the recommendations are there. I just want to say in defense of the PRC that we are here on your behalf. The reason that a PRC exists is to make sure that we are auditing without any undue influence special school district. When we went through the 2018 PRC, we look at everything and we will do the same thing this time. And we are here to make recommendations on your behalf. We are here for the students and families of special school district. As the governing council members, we're part of the partner districts, but we are not here to make sure that you don't get heard or that your voices are, obstructed. So I don't want that to be the thought at all. We are here to serve you and your students. And I saw another question in the chat. I don't know if we've gotten to it yet, but somebody asked about the 4-year cycle. So every 4 years, a PRC is convened to do this very same thing. So for the last 28 years, this has been occurring. So there's not any, it's not a once a year, but it's every 4 years. We take the entire school year to kind of really go through and evaluate special school district. The Public Review Committee comes up with recommendations, and the district acts on those recommendations. I can say I was very pleased to see a lot of the work that we did in the 2018 PRC has been put into action. And one of those recommendations was equity. If you go back through and look to the 2018 Public Review Committee report that is out there, I want to say it was 30 to 40 pages long. A lot of work goes into this. This is not just like what I gave you tonight is a quick PowerPoint overview. But when we go through and write these recommendations, we are looking at additional data points. We're looking, we're asking for additional documentation so that we can thoroughly give recommendations that will benefit the students of special school district.
Ms. Lee, I just sent the welcoming update from the Public Review Committee of the 13 recommendations that were provided from the last PRC to Ms. Lee so she can attach it to the notes. Okay, Dr. Carter? I'm sorry, not Dr. Carter. I'm sending it to you.
Absolutely. And I'll send it to Christina so she can, send it to Bridget so she can send it out to everyone.
Okay,
thank you.
You already got
to
it.
Answer Shauna, we're waiting information from the Missouri Attorney General on the information that we sent forth. What we can tell you now is that we are in compliance. We have not done anything outside of the Sunshine Law that has been brought up. So now we conclude this meeting. It has been an hour. Now we're up for public comments. Each person for public comments, you get 2 minutes. Do we have any public comments? Do we have any public comments? Yes, Shauna.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of take the 2 minutes to kind of chime in. Just a few things that you've commented on. I'm fine, that's sunshine. I'm a person that likes data and documentation. And, I'm new to the group, so I'm still trying to learn. But anytime you guys get those, I think it would be great. And maybe you already have to share that new data, share the new documentation. If people are questioning compliance issues or sunshine laws, provide documentation to show that you are in compliance, because it's one thing to be like, well, I said this or I heard from this, but providing the data to back up the word is great too. And then the other, I guess, comment would be, so if people have issues and we're coming and bringing our parents' concerns, when's the right time to address these? If I know parents have tried to address them with teachers, supervisors, administration, and getting nowhere, how do I go about being their leader?
Okay.
So if there would be a concern at any time that is not being voiced, Ms. McRiddle is on this call. She's the executive director of partner districts. If you're not getting anywhere with the director, I also see a director, Katina Lyles, who also come to these meetings in your district. If you're not getting anywhere with the director, you also can reach out to Ms. Chiquita McRiddle. You can reach out to Dr. Tamara Yates, or you can reach out to myself.
Also, with the information that they're stating that we are not presenting, we send out an agenda a week prior to our meetings. We also send out the minutes to our meetings. We also send out a reminder to our meetings. And since December, we send out an RSVP to our meetings. If you do not get the information from the PAC, because you have stated that you do not want to be communicated to through the PAC, then Amy Doyle sends it out to the public. So if anybody has information or has our email addresses, Amy Doyle does. So you get the information prior to the meetings. We put our meetings out a week prior. I send the agenda to Amy Doyle on every Sunday a week prior to our meetings. You also get the agendas from the PAC sent out by Bridget through MailChimp by the PAC. So you get all the meetings. All our meetings are open. We have sent out an update over the Christmas holidays for the EC meetings where you have public comments, as well as the SSD PAC meetings. We had to send out a new one because we voted last month to cancel out March. Thank you. Your 2 minutes are up. Anyone else? Hearing none. Oh, there you go.
Mary Fitzgerald has her hand up.
Okay, Mary, then Kim.
Hi. We've had a problem for 6 years now at IEP meetings where we'll have the SSD folks showing up, but the regular classroom teachers aren't coming. I have a son with severe learning disability in math, and we don't have a math teacher showing up. We don't have the SSD math teacher showing up. I had a 3-hour IEP meeting last Wednesday, high school meeting over Zoom, and none of the regular classroom Kirkwood teachers were present and spoke, and I did not have any input from them. Personally, I didn't know what was going on with my kid last semester. I mean, I talked to them at parent-teacher conferences, but that was it. And he had a rough semester. And the discussion was about pivoting to virtual learning and making those decisions. And I'm not the only parent who've had this problem consistently for years and years and years. So I don't know what to do about it. It's very frustrating. And I'm not the only parent who's talking about this. We're not getting that kind of input. My other thing is that they didn't know whether we could do the special ed launch program through virtual. They told me no at the meeting. Days later, they said they could. It's very confusing about what's going on. My son's home now doing homeschool, not homeschool, but he's home now. We're just trying to do schoolwork online that the school's putting out, and he only has actual instruction in 2 classes where there's a video from the teacher. The rest, I'm just making it up. I'm getting Ken Burns, I'm having Bill Nye, I'm having all kinds of people teach my kid. And this virtual learning thing that we're just putting together is just not, it's not appropriate. And I just have really deep concerns about this. We were virtual all last year in 8th grade. And we managed, but that was because this school district was doing video lessons, right? They
Okay.
had a program.
That's our time. That's our 2 minute
Thank you.
time. That would be a Wendy question answer.
And Miss Fitzgerald, you are in Kirkwood. Let me do some investigating. Miss McRiddle is also on the call, and we will be reaching out to you tomorrow. Does that sound like a plan? Miss
All right,
McRiddle, do you have anything to add? Nope, that's it.
All right, and we'll have Kim Gifford and Latoya Nelson will be our last one for our 10 minutes.
I was just
Okay,
going to
so-
say, Keisha,
Oh.
can you also add for PRC that we'll make a note of that and kind of follow up with our outcomes of the pandemic portion of our PRC stuff that's coming up in one of our next meetings?
I took detailed notes, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
It's your time, Kim. We can't hear you. Kim, we can't hear you. Kim, we can't hear you.
I think she might be frozen.
Yeah, she looks frozen.
She looks frozen. And I also think Miss Lyles had her hand up as well. And Latoya still has her hand up.
Okay. Latoya and then Miss Lyles, because Miss Lyles, are you speaking to the Kirkwood parent or?
She's indicated no. I think she may have just been
I'm sorry.
nodding.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, didn't have my hand up, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, we'll go ahead with Latoya. Miss Nelson, 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say I'm new as well. And so it's not really confusing. I've been getting the information since day one of starting with the PAC when we first had a public meeting and then we went virtual. Everybody within the PAC is very knowledgeable, those that have been seasoned. And I'm certain you can kind of reach out to any one of them if you kind of check the email and go on the SSD website to look to see what schools and just kind of look at the websites and see who's suitable for you to reach out to for information. And also I'm just excited about, going forward and not really being confrontational, because every time we get together, it's like back and forth. We're here for the children, and
Yes.
any personal issues should kind of be hashed out outside of those that want to represent families. If you're here to represent families and students, then that's what you should be here for. If not, then you shouldn't be a part of it. And that's just as simple as it could get. And that's just my public comment.
Thank you. Okay, that ends the public comment.
I think
part.
Kim just came back on.
Kim, you back?
I am. The internet died right as I was going to speak. So I have 2 questions.
Sure.
I was at an IEP meeting this morning, and I had known that the Parents' Bill of Rights had been updated, but the school staff was going to give me the older version. So my question is, when does that information go out to the school staff so that they can give parents the updated version? So that's my first question. And then my second question is, for an IEP, who should be the LEA for the school district? Can it be a classroom teacher or does it need to be somebody different? So those are my questions.
Chief Pendergrass.
Would you ask the last question? I was writing down Bill of Rights, sorry.
Yeah, so for the LEA for an IEP meeting, who should be filling that role for the partner district?
There could be multiple people that would fill that role. It could be a general education teacher. It could be an administrator. It would be someone from the least restrictive environment that would be there. So you are in what particular district, my dear?
Maplewood.
So Maplewood, Richmond Heights, it would be a general education person, possibly from Maplewood, Richmond Heights.
So it can be a classroom teacher. That's
It could
what
be.
I wanted to clarify.
Yes, if they're
Okay.
representing, their purpose is to represent the services that could be provided from Maplewood. So it definitely could be a teacher.
Thank you.
All right.
And I will check on the Bill of Rights. I will check on and let you know. Sorry.
Yeah, I know that I've been on top of things lately and I didn't expect the teachers to be on it, but it occurred to me that at some point they should have that information and I wasn't sure what that process was.
And you gave us all information because we didn't know it was a new Bill of Rights. All right, so that ends the portion of public comments. Thank you for those of you who made comments. Let's put the plus delta in the chat so you can fill it out. Larissa Morgan, I saw her. We have a few minutes left in the meeting. Let's hear about
Hello,
Peter.
I'm here.
Okay, let's hear about Peter.
Well,
I know
good
you
evening,
guys weren't
everyone.
on the agenda, but I know we're getting ready for the PLI. And is it
That's-
going to be in person or on virtual?
Oh, wow. I'm so glad you asked. Well, that is one of those things that we as a program are still trying to evaluate day to day and looking at the pandemic. We are going to prepare both ways and we will be notifying our parents and those family members who signed up for the second semester to let them know. And, you know, we may have some people who, if we are going to go ahead and present in person, that may decline. And in that instance, what we will do is we will invite them to attend the next one. But that was a hot topic for us on today relating to the PLI. And so the only other thing that we wanted to share out this evening, two things, is that we have a recreation fair coming up, and I will let Deborah Fiasco share that information with you guys.
Okay, I just put all the information in chat. We've got the summer resource fair with the Recreation Council on Tuesday coming up. And so you can register at SSD PAC. Funding starts for those summer programs from the Recreation Council on January 15th. So we booked her the minute we possibly could. She won't even be in the state of Missouri when she presents on Tuesday so that we can get that information out because funding goes kind of quick. So I put that link in there too, so you can see the application process and the application links for the summer resource fair.
You have a question
for the funding. I'm sorry.
You have a question. Will this recreation fair be recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's going to be recorded. All of our workshops and presentations are recorded so that if you register, we'll send you the link and you can get to it later. We're also recording it because I get a lot of requests from some of the partner district PACs to come out and present the recreation fair information. So Sue's going to record it so that we've got a really good recording that we can take to all the other district PACs and present around St. Louis County to everyone else. We just want to really get it out to our families at the beginning of the funding cycle because it goes fast and we want to make sure that our families have that.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is monies that we can apply for summer recreation or?
Yeah, there's grants for summer recreation. There have been grants for some of the before and after school care. The Recreation Council has really stepped up in the pandemic. They've provided laptops for our folks when they couldn't participate in recreation in person. So they've done a really great job of pivoting. We don't have the summer recreation packet yet, but we are working on ours and they're working on theirs. I can say that our program has been calling around, and some of the providers that were saying we are in person this summer are now wavering a little bit. So it's really hard to give really specific information on it programs and what they're going to look like, but we're doing our best to stay on top of it with the help of the Recreation Council.
That's awesome. So guys, it's in the chat. Please register.
Yep.
Please register. Please register. There is grants out there. Wendy is also, yes, it will be virtual, Melissa, a church. Chief Pendergrass has put the compliance bill of rights in there. So go ahead and click on those things now. We will also put that in a special update. Bridget can send out as soon as she's dealing with some things. As soon as she possibly can. So are there
Dr. Carter?
Yes.
I had one last thing that I wanted to share. Very important and wonderful share. I want to introduce to you all our newest PETA member. Her name is Miss Kimberly Gretton. Kimberly, would you be so kind as to share some information about yourself with our PAC?
Good evening, everyone. I am Kim Redden, and I've been in education for over 20 years. And previously, I was director of an early learning center, a parent educator, a para, a family advocate, and now I'm coming to SSD as a PETA liaison. I am committed to connect families to resources, services, and information. And I'm excited to join the PETA team. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining our motley crew. We have Desi released the updated Bill of Rights. SSD is in the process of getting these updated and distributed. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
This is Ellen, the motion to adjourn.
God bless you. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Kim has second, Ellen has motion, and Kim has second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any abstains or any objections?
We have
Hearing-
a hand raised from Ashley Harrison Lawson.
Oh, that was me affirming the thing. I had the baby in my hand. Sorry. That was me agreeing to dismiss.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night.
Hi, everybody. Good night. Stay safe.
Good night.
Night.
Good night. Make sure you get those links out to your families. Good night. Good night. All right. I'm ending in 5. Oh. Good night, y'all.